Yes, sir. So if you didn't see, Shams just reported Damian Lillard is finalizing a 3-year deal to return back to the Portland Trailblazers. And I got to be honest with you guys, I absolutely love this for him, and I love this for the franchise. Now, it didn't feel like he left Portland fully committed to leaving Portland, right? I think it was a lot of the outside noise, the idea of you're an all-time great, top 75 player, you got to go pursue a championship. And in that time, 2 years ago, the Portland Trailblazers just weren't ready to compete for a championship, right? And I think those succeeding years, if he would have stayed, they probably would have missed the playoffs, struggled, et cetera, et cetera. And I get not wanting to go through that in the prime of your career where Damian Lillard was. But he's a guy who's loyal to the soil, right? Like he loved Portland, the opportunity that he had in Portland. I think if it was up to him, he would have liked to compete with Portland, continue making the playoffs until he decided to retire, right? If he could choose the way his career ended up. Now, I think, got a little bit, he listened to the noise, right? To a certain extent, he listened to what people were saying, and ultimately that pushed him to get traded to Milwaukee, both by the franchise and I think his own doing as well. And we saw how that worked out. Now, a lot of the way Milwaukee ended up was due to injury, right? For lack of, a better term, it was just due to, Giannis not being able to be healthy at the right times in year one, Dame also not being able to be healthy year one, and then year two, devastating injury to Dame that's going to have him out all of next season. Now, we understand what happened, and we understand why that wasn't successful. And also on the back end of that, I think even though Dame's still going to get paid after being waived, for a guy who really appreciates and takes serious loyalty, when you get waived by a team after, giving them your all, playing through blood clots, trying to get back on the court, fighting to get back on the court in the playoffs, and they waive you, there's still an element of disrespect there that I think he feels, and is why he probably doesn't want to go through that again with another franchise, right? So he's like, let me go to where I'm comfortable, go to where I'm loved, where I'm respected, where the fans are going to be happy to have me there, and that is the Portland Trailblazers. Now, from a basketball perspective, this is also a great move. This is also a win. You got a young, upcoming team with serious talent around Dame. Now, I don't think when Damian Lillard comes back, they're going to view him as the best player on the franchise anymore, because over this next season, Denny Avdija and Shaedon Sharpe are going to make some huge leaps in my estimation, right? These guys are going to be the real deal. I just did a video on this like 2 or 3 days ago talking about where I see Portland. But what I do think is he is a great leader, right? Damian Lillard is one of the best leaders in the game. The way he carries himself is a way that I think more guys should carry themselves. And that's something that's going to bleed into the franchise, bleed into the young guys. And not that, only that, he's a guy with real winning experience, right? Deep into the playoffs, making it to the conference finals, playing against these Warriors teams that were fantastic, right? Playing against, the West throughout his entire career and really battling in the playoffs, that is going to help this Portland team. And for my money, on their trajectory, when he returns, is a team that's going to be really serious about making a legitimate playoff push, right? Like, so this next season, right, it's going to be kind of a swing season, right, where these guys are making leaps. I think they're going to win over 40 games, but they're probably going to be a play-in team if I had to guess, right? But that next year, right, think about the teams that may be shifting, right? That next year you got teams like Sacramento, who's not going to be good again. Teams like Dallas, you never know. A team like the Clippers, right? That's another year of James Harden, of Kawhi Leonard getting older. They're probably not going to be in the playoff hunt quite as prominent as they will be this year. So you add Damian Lillard to a young core, and now you're ready to attack the West, right? In year 20, what's that going to be? 26, 27. You know what I'm saying? So I absolutely love this move. I think it's going to be a great addition for the Portland Trailblazers and where they're at. And I think for Damian Lillard, more importantly, because, I'm a players first kind of guy, I think it's a great way for him to end his career on a storied franchise where he's going to be so respected, where he may have a statue one day, where his jersey's most definitely going to be retired. That's for dang sure if he doesn't get a statue. But that jersey's definitely going to be retired. And, he gets to be closer to his family. He has, homes there, businesses there. And not only that, he's still getting paid by Milwaukee, right? And you add that Milwaukee contract to what he's going to be making over the next 3 years in Portland, and it's something like in the neighborhood of like $70 million, You know what I'm saying? So getting compensated for the work that you put in as well in your twilight year. So absolutely love this move for Damian Lillard. Wish him nothing but the best. I hope his recovery is going well. I hope he comes back and is the dynamic shooter that he once was. Even if he doesn't have the same explosion, right? Still, you know, a guy who from 35 feet can put some pressure on the defense. So excited to see the way he comes back and how he can really help elevate that Portland Trailblazers franchise. But storybook end, in my opinion, for Damian Lillard, right? Not every guy has to win a championship. Some guys, it's just about, you know, meaning something to a franchise, and he absolutely has meant a lot to that Portland Trailblazers franchise. Peace.